All right, welcome again, just for the recording. Very good morning. Welcome to this webinar on diet. I was just talking about how our approach with this challenge has been not just practice, but also to bring in the diet part of it. And probably that's a big part of this challenge. And we all have done some kind of adjustments to our diet over the past, but it's a constant work. We've been, hearing new things and trying out new things with diet. And so somewhere there, something works for us and we need to stick to that. And this webinar is also about understanding what Ayurveda has to say and what would work best for you individually. Ayurveda talks about personalizing the diet. So obviously it's not one rule that applies to all of us. So understanding that personalized approach to our diet that works for my body and my needs is going to be one of the takeaways from this webinar. So without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Nikhila. Dr. Nikhila is an Ayurvedic doctor from Bangalore, and she's teaching at Sri Sri Ayurvedic College in Bangalore and also does consultation with a lot of companies across the world. She's traveled quite a bit. She's been in Africa for a while, teaching yoga and Ayurveda. And so the format for today will be pretty straightforward. I'll ask Dr. Nikhila to talk to us for a brief 5 to 10 minutes, an intro maybe, to Ayurvedic diet and how it can complement our yoga practice. And post that, we'll open up for questions. So it's largely about question and answers. And so if you have any specific questions, do write it down. You could share that in the comment box, or you can just unmute and ask question. It will be better if we can interact. So keep your notebooks ready, even to take notes on what Dr. Nikhila is going to share with us. Dr. Nikhila, welcome to this webinar. It's all yours. Let me make you the host.
Thank you very much for the intro, Pradeep.
You're the host now, Nikhila. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, hello everyone. So today's discussion is kind of a basic discussion. We'll start with what to eat and what not to eat, and some certain on a large way, basic activities as well, which are complementing to your practice. So let us start with, yes, what is ahara? Ahara is in Sanskrit or in many other Indian languages also, it is food. So food is little bit different than diet, because food is whatever we can eat, we put into our body, which has a beneficial effect for us. But then the diet is a customized food. So we customize it according to our requirement. But then what is the basic function of the food? So yeah, we all know that it is very much necessary for our existence. It helps in our growth and our survival. It depends on what we eat, right? There is a famous saying that you are what you eat, what you consume. So it is literally true. And yeah, and plus it has this dimensional effect on the body as well. So healthy food also supplies to our mind. See, a part of food, whatever you consume, will kind of reach your mind and will mold your thoughts accordingly. That's why we have the food categorization as per Sattva, Raja, Tama. You might have heard those are the qualities of some of the qualities, basic qualities, which mold your behavior, your thought process, your mental state, etc. So we always want to have good thoughts. We always want to have more creativity and to be active, to have that zeal to move forward and do exercise and stick on to our this. So we need to have a healthy diet. So it is also kind of a pivotal role. It plays a pivotal role in sickness as well as health. So it kind of has a multi-dimensional effect on the body, as I said. So when it comes to Ayurvedic food, we have different concepts in Ayurvedic dietetics, which we will tackle one by one in coming days. So the first one is Hitahara, Satmya Ahara, Aviruddha, and then Shadrasopeta. So this is in simple way how to understand it. Hita is conducive towards your health. Satmya is congenial to your body. So of course, this will be different for each of you. It might, one person's congenial food might not be the other person's. So we have to understand what it is as we go on experimenting on it. And then Viruddha is a non-compatible food item. So you have to avoid the food items which are not going together properly, which when combined will produce an unwanted effect on the body. So we'll also learn how to differentiate them. And then yes, Shadrasa, that is 6 rasa, 6 tastes. As per Ayurveda, we have 6 tastes, and a balanced food is considered when all these 6 tastes are there on your plate. Okay, so now let us come back to what you should have now that you are having a weight reduction challenge. So I have modified the food items which are which help you to reduce weight a little bit. Okay, so here you can see, you can take down this. You might already have a certain list of food items which are beneficial for you, which you should have, which you should not have. So here are food which are which kind of support all the theories of Ayurveda, basic principles of food, and they are also helping you to reduce the weight. So here it is doing in two-way balancing, that is, it is supporting your health and then it is supporting to reduce your weight as well. Because see, you have to be very careful when it comes to weight reduction. There are very crazy food or diets which are there in the market, which kind of have very negative effect on your health when you do it for a longer duration or more than the specified duration, right? So you have to be very careful as to what you put inside your body, which kind of has a long-term effect on it. Okay, so I have divided it here as a little bit food, grains, and fruits and vegetables, and then some spices as well. So some of the spices also, even if they are in very less quantity, they kind of help you to lose weight. Okay, so turmeric, ginger, or even dry or wet, both. Even lemon, honey is an excellent weight reducer. So you can use it as much as you want. Even milk products, ghee has kind of a taboo on it, but then yes, ghee actually helps you to reduce weight. So you can reduce certain cheesy food items, etc., and include a spoonful of your ghee in your food. That will definitely help you to keep your system clean and to reduce weight as well. And yeah, there are different food items prepared. For some of the examples I have given here, vegetable juices, you can prepare smoothies, but make sure that you are not adding something like sour this with milk. So make sure that you have a proper balance. It is not opposing, and smoothies are a great way to start your breakfast. So yeah, include them profusely in your diet. You can have soups, gruels. Gruels are very easy to prepare. You can take any millet and you can just add 1 part of that millet and 16 part of water and boil it. That's it. Once the millet is like properly boiled, you can start with rice or you can start with any kind of millet, quinoa or ragi or anything. Okay, and boil it nicely. You can even fry it a little bit and pound it slightly so that it liberates the this active ingredients very fast. And then you can season it as per your taste, like maybe a little bit of pepper powder. Long pepper is best one, and then like a little bit of salt. Rock salt is the best. So and then have it. It will fill your stomach, it will keep you active during the day, and it will energize you like anything. Because what happens when you're losing weight, your energy level dips. So to bring that energy level up. This is the best one, even though it is a carbohydrate, but it is a very beneficial carbohydrate, very safe one, which you can definitely have. And then there is buttermilk. It is like a magic drink, but the buttermilk, you have to be careful. Nicely churn the curd if you can. uh, the easiest way is to take curd and put it in the mixer, where you prepare the smoothie, that jar, and grind it, so that a little bit of butter will start to form. That is the best one. You can add, you can season it with anything you want. You can make it salty, you can make it a little bit spicy, with different pepper or ginger, or even basil a little bit, coriander, etc. You can add, you can even add a little bit of this any other vegetables a little bit, and have it. Okay, it is a best drink throughout the day. You can even make one day buttermilk day and have a little bit of supper later. Okay, and honey water. There are a little bit of concepts as to honey water. Honey should never be heated as much as possible. Try not to put the honey in anything which is hot. But yes, you can boil the water and let it cool, come back to normal temperature, and then add honey. You can add even lemon juice, a dash of lemon juice in it, and drink it throughout the day. It will keep you energized, and it, in the same time, it will help you to lose weight. Okay, honey water is the best, but don't mix it with hot water. Okay, so I can take the questions as soon as I finish. Now, coming to the activities, try to spend a little bit of your time in nature if it is possible. Try to go for a walk, etc. It will refresh your mind. It will, the space kind of helps you to harmonize that mental state, especially when the physique is going through a lot of changes. Okay, practice mindfulness, meditation, pranayama, etc. Mainly, see, when I say mindfulness, it's not like going back to mindfulness yoga or something. No, mindfulness is doing your activities with like what you say, with proper involvement. You become conscious of how your body moves, how, what things you are doing, so that you kind of slow down and try to take in what is around you, how life is situated around you, and you become you will cultivate that gratitude to be thankful for what you are having. And yes, yoga, pranayama, meditation, all these regular exercises kind of help you to get there where you want to, whatever point, aim you have. Now, the other thing, of course, we'll speak about the food psychology and food behavior in later classes, but yeah, eating slow. This I especially want to highlight because this is a first week as I came to know. So whenever you are consuming food, your brain is also acting on how you are eating the food. Okay, so there is a thing called satiety. That is, the brain will acknowledge that your stomach is full. So you usually continue eating till that point of time. So when you start becoming full, the brain has to tell you that, yes, your stomach is full, now stop eating. Okay. So sometimes what happens, brain takes a little bit of time to understand whether the stomach is full or not. So what happens, you overeat sometimes till the brain keeps on telling you, okay, this is it, stop. But then something you like and you start eating it a little bit more faster. So slow eating is the best way to kind of understand or fool the brain to make it understand that the stomach is full. Okay, it is kind of cheating your brain. So if you can slow down, it's not like too slow or something, but moderate speed of eating. Try to understand the taste of the food, try to slow down, enjoy the food and eat. Try not to watch any Netflix series, etc., while eating, so that your whole concentration is on the food and you are kind of becoming mindful towards it. Then the brain will understand that the stomach is full, the body, whatever it is requirement of the body is, it is fulfilled, and you will be amazed to understand that how less food you consume. Okay, usually 30% reduction in the food will be there, consumption especially. And then intake of water before meal. This is one more trick. to fool the stomach that it is full. So try to have 1 glass full of water, approximately 150 to 200 ml of water. Warm water is preferred. If not, normal water is also fine before you start any meal. It might be breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Okay, just drink the water and then start eating. Now, coming to regular time schedules, if you can have a proper time schedule, that is the best one. Because then usually what happens, at least 2 to 3 hours difference should be there between the meals. Okay, so breakfast 2 hours minimum, main meal at least 3 to 4 hours of difference. That is the best test. Now, coming to what you should not have. So these are few of the items which are listed here, which better you avoid till you reach your aim. Okay, so maida, that is refined flour, fine flour, very what you say, the flour which is very much many a time sieved. Okay, so that it's better to avoid. Curds, better to avoid. Buttermilk, yes. Curd, avoid. Okay, and then alcohol or stale food, especially if you have prepared something yesterday and the same thing you consume to like throughout the week, you prepare it, stash it in the refrigerator and consume, that usually becomes very heavy for digestion, and it loses its quality of food. That freshness always ensures that the nutrients are to the top notch, like you get proper nutrient. But when it starts to get stale, the nutrient value comes down. So these are few things which you should keep in mind. Heavily salted foods, oily foods, processed foods like pizza, etc., it's better to avoid. Okay, now coming to the activities, eating when not hungry. So you have to be again conscious enough to understand whether your body is actually hungry or not. What happens when you start exercising? You will the energy level increases fast, and then it will start to fall down. So many times body will not understand whether it is actually ready to receive the food or not. So it will give you a false hunger pang. So you have to wait till either the hunger intensifies, then you see that it is actual hunger and you eat it. If the hunger is not intensifying, after some time, if the hunger goes away, then it was a false hunger pang, you don't need to eat. Okay, then overeating, that is many times if you are watching TV series or something, movie, etc., you kind of lose the chain of thought as to what it has to be put in your what all you have taken in the plate, and you keep on eating. Okay, so that overeating habit, it's better to avoid, and that's what mindful eating would help you. And daytime sleeping should also be avoided as much as possible. But if you're very, very tired, then you can sleep before lunch for half an hour. Okay, but before lunch, never sleep after any meals. Try to wake up when the sun is up. It is like we are usually we respond to the sun. So it is always better to get up when the sun is up and to sleep when the sun goes down. Okay, and then sedentary lifestyle. Yeah, I know many people have a work from home situation going on. So you are mostly sitting on the couch. Make sure that you get up in and then walk around, drink a glass of water. And as I'm sure you have joined for active yoga challenges, etc. So it will definitely take you away from sedentary lifestyle. So this is it. So if you have any questions, I'm open for the questions. I'll stop the share. Thank you very much for patient listening.
All right, let me
Dr. Nikhila, I have a question.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you should eat, drinking water before a meal will help you reduce, you will help in that hunger and reduce the quantity of food.
Yeah.
But, I've heard that, and I may be wrong, but it washes away digestive juices.
Yeah.
Will that prevent, digestion or proper digestion of the food if I drink water
That is a very, very good question, Arunimam. Yeah, this drinking water before food is only for reducing weight. Okay, for a normal person or a person who has weak digestion, no, it is not for him. What happens when the body's digestion is kind of a hyperactive at certain levels? The body starts to store the fat, like it is hyperactive till that point of time, and from then onwards it reduces. Okay, that is why you will have weaker bones, but then your fat, the adipose tissue will be more deposited, right? So when we drink water, we kind of are not washing away the enzymes. The water will still be in the stomach, but then the liquidy part of that will be more. So the quantity of the food is reduced, which is properly required for you, and the hyperactive juices are also diluted. So the digestion also will happen properly, but this is only for people who have this weight issue. Okay, overweight or obesity issue.
Sure.
Yeah. There is a question, intermittent fasting. Yes, intermittent fasting is a very good concept for a very short period, but then you should not go over 6 hours without any food. Actually, we don't allow very long gaps between the food. At the max, the best way is to have 4 hours gap between the foods, main meals. And the best thing is you don't eat anything. The best, like what I like about intermittent fasting is you don't eat anything repeatedly. So there are either 2 meals or 3 meals, that's it. If you can adjust your day 12 hours in these 3 meals, that would be the best one. But then it depends on what all you want to eat during these 3 meals. You can combine everything and have a moderate balanced diet with what all food items I suggested. You can include that more, and that will be best one. But yeah, I don't 100% agree with the intermittent fasting, but it is a good concept when implemented moderately. I think, yeah. Ayurveda recommend no food after sunset, before sunrise, and no, it is not like after sunset or sunrise. The main thing is whether you are hungry or not, whether your digestion is completed and your stomach is ready to receive the food or not. So that is how the breakfast, lunch, dinner are arranged usually. Okay, so if your digestion is low, if you are slow digestion, then you will not get hunger that fast. So you wait till your system is ready for food, you are hungry, and then you have food. That is best actually. Yeah, according to certain customs, there is this related. The main scientific reason behind it is at the point when the rules were made, the electricity and all were not invented, and evening hours are usually the hours where the other insects etc are very active, and you will not see what you are consuming, right? So that was one reason why evenings or when the darkness is there, the food should not be consumed. But yeah, now you can consume if you're hungry, but I would always support the supper rather than dinner. Okay, so that it gives you a comfortable gap between your food, your meal, and sleeping time. There should be 4 hours gap between the, or at least 3 hours gap between the main meal and the sleep. Okay, once you sleep, your system slows down and it will not digest the food properly. Okay, that's why you get regurgitation or acidity etc problems the next day. Okay, or constipation etc. So there was one more. Many questions are coming.
We
okay,
have
I'm happy.
one person raised hand. Mahashid, is it? Yeah, Mahashid, you can go ahead. We'll take one question and then maybe read from the chat box.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mahashid.
Hi.
Hello.
Sure. Hi, Namaste. I've been doing like intermittent fasting for a year now, and I've been doing like 12 hours, 16 hours until now, like from the night before. It's been working for me, and I've lost like about 20 pounds or so.
Yes, yes.
And whenever, you know, I go back, you know, sometimes, you know, it's Sunday, you know, I want to just have like some brunch or something, like something small. I get so bloated because I think, you know, I'm so used to not having things. Is that something healthy? And, you know, it just, another thing that the issue that I have is constipation. Can you just
Yeah.
just talk
See,
about that?
Yeah, actually very valid this. What happens, observation, all these keto diet or all these variants of different diets, they kind of work for you for certain time period, but then later it's better to switch back to the a proper conducive diet for yourself. You list out what all works for you and come back to near normal food this habit, because long term thing will definitely lead you for certain health issues, especially now that you might start, it starts with simple indigestion, constipation, etc., and then some nutrient deficiency, etc. So it is always better to slowly shift. Don't go for a sudden shift. You can start with certain soup, etc., food items, liquid food items, juices, etc. But make sure that when you are consuming something, it is in a small quantity, so that your system will acknowledge that, okay, I have to eat at this time. So it is okay to eat in between. So once the system acknowledges, then you slowly can increase the quantity and then bring it back to at least 2 meals a day during daytime. That would be wonderful. Okay. So constipation especially happens if you are not drinking enough water, that is first thing. And then if you're not having enough fiber in your food, in your diet, or if the food quantity is too low for the system to form the stool. Okay, so these are the main 3 reasons. So it is, you make sure that you are drinking enough water, and I would suggest early morning, a half glass of nicely boiled and cooled water, not too cold, warm water, but make sure that it is rolling boil, and then bring it back to, keep it aside so that it comes back to warm temperature, which is comfortable for you, and then add 1 spoon of cow's ghee, clarified butter in it. Okay, and then drink it on empty stomach. That will help you to clear out the bowel movements. Okay, it might take a couple of days, but then it will help wonderfully.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Pradeep, I would request you to select the questions then.
Quite a few questions on.
Pradeep, one question is very valid. It's around yogurt or curd. Why is that bad for you, Dr. Nikhila?
Yogurt, if we consider it to be very highly unctuous, that is, we call it as abhishandi in Sanskrit. So if a person is expecting to reduce weight, or he has diabetes or such food or such diseases or conditions wherein overnourishment is there, yogurt is very, very nourishing. That's why for kids we give yogurt. Okay, so or people who are very lean, for them we give yogurt. But a person who wants to reduce weight, buttermilk is the best switch rather than yogurt. Okay, so that is the only thing. It is very, very nourishing, and that much of nourishment is not required when you are reducing weight. That is the only reason. But yogurt is very good. Only thing is, right now for you, it might not be suitable. That's all.
So again, a related question to that, then I think Charul has asked that being a vegetarian, how can you get enough protein then?
You have so many variants of vegetarian proteins. Soya chunks are one very rich source of protein. For example, all the pulses are very good sources of protein. Milk also has buttermilk. Of course, paneer, etc. I wouldn't recommend right now. But then, yes, you can definitely include that milk, other milk products. There are so many protein. See what happens. You should always balance the diet. Make sure that in your plate you have proper carbohydrates, proteins, minerals, etc. in a balanced vitamins, etc. So if you can include a good amount of dals, soya, and different variations, beans, etc. So that will definitely make sure that you have enough protein. I'm sure it will help.
So there's another question. I don't know who asked because it's just written iPhone. But what if I mean, this is very valid for me also because I have dinner by 7, but I usually work very late at night. So when you're hungry at 10 or 11 p.m., then what can you do?
The best one is the universal drink, that is water. Or half glass of milk is also okay, but then again, see what happens if you, even water gets digested, right? So if you put any food in your system, the process starts. It is like starting your washing machine. I'm trying to give you a simple example. So if you start it once, it will go through whole process of washing, etc., and drying, till drying, right? So it is like this. You put anything in your mouth, even if a small nut, cashew, or raisin, or anything, the whole system starts. Okay, and when you are going to sleep, that is not the best time to start the system, because it will definitely get hampered and the product will not be good. So it is always better to have water or a very less half glass of milk, warm milk, and then just walk around a little, and then you can go back to sleep.
Dr. Nikhila, one more question about food for stiff joints. What would you recommend? Because people are also practicing yoga, and it's quite common that some might experience stiffness. So is there a food for stiff joints?
Yes. See, that's what food can, food is what is building your body, right? If you are taking too much of dry food items, very fiber rich food items, that usually leads to gas, whichever form gas, those kind of lead to stiffness. Okay, so it is better to go for a little bit ghee, milk, buttermilk, these food items which have good fatty acids, and even there are food items which are rich in omega fatty acids. So these will actually help you. Fats are very much essential, believe me. I know you are trying to lose the fat, but then that is very much essential for your body. That is what keeps you, this whole system, oiled properly and keeps you young, energetic. That is from where you get proper energy, etc. So a little bit of addition of ghee, cow's ghee, especially the one which is yellow in color, clarified butter is the best one. Okay, so try to have that one wherever the labeling says that it is cow's ghee, or the composition is equal to cow's ghee. Okay, so 1 spoon of that in your food along with your diet, you can either smear it to bread or roti, or you can add it on the dal, or along with the vegetables. That will help. Milk is second best food. Consume enough amount of milk. If you are very much worried, you can go for lower percentage of fat, this milk, but try not to go for totally skimmed milk unless you are very obese. Okay, if you are just overweight, go for normal cow's milk. If you are obese, then go for skimmed milk. Still, it will be a good source of these fatty acids, etc. Yeah.
So
yeah, go ahead, Arun.
yeah, just one question which seems pretty relevant. That for women who are menopausal or in the perimenopausal phase, it's number one, is it more difficult to lose weight? And secondly, what is a better diet? Is it intermittent, or is it just managing the way we are promoting it, that you should just be mindful and eat? What are your thoughts there, Dr. Nikhila?
See, when it comes to menopause, there are multiple things which are acting, even in other cases also. It's not just limited to that. See, there are different risk factors, different reasons for obesity. Okay, when you are trying to reduce weight, there are, and especially hormones play a great role. So if you are in menopause, then definitely go see the doctor, check out your hormonal levels. That always helps to bring them to balance. You many a times lose. It's not just menopause, even thyroid, especially, it is kind of a major hormone which controls many of the digestive processes. So all those things, and then there are other stress related reasons, like when you are very much stressed, you kind of stress it, right? So depression, anxiety, these all things kind of hamper total hormonal system, your enzyme system, and hence cause obesity. So it is kind of a compound approach which is required to reduce weight. So yes, what you are doing right now will be applied even for the menopause this stage. A proper balance of diet, exercise, and a proper mental health approach will definitely help to reduce the weight and keep it in a proper this. Even you will have a healthy menopause. Yeah. Yes.
A very good question, because you spoke about it. Mahashid asked that, can you give us some examples of incompatible foods?
Incompatible foods, I'll take it up again in the next our next discussion, because it needs a lot of introduction. So at least 10-20 minutes of introduction itself, because there are different categories of non-compatible foods, combinations, if you say. So, but the basic thing would be combining stale food with fresh food. Okay, if you are combining that, better don't do that. Combining hot and cold, this like hot sauce or hot chocolate sauce with ice cream, right? So try not to have opposites as much as possible. And combining, yes, one more best one is the taste, sour with sweet, like milkshakes, especially milkshakes which have sour fruit items. So yeah. That should be avoided. Okay. Yeah. One question I want to address. This is from my sheet itself. Rice, white rice and basmati rice are, those are very highly what you say, high glycemic index diet. So you should avoid basmati rice. I'm really sorry to give you this news, but the best one is this less polishings, the rice which has less polishings. Brown rice is best. Any colored rice is fine. Black rice is also okay. That is very awesome. It is rich in minerals and nutrients. You can definitely try that. Different colored red rice, if you can get, that is the best variety of rice. But it is limited to certain geographical area, like the Kerala strip and that southern part of Karnataka. It is not grown everywhere, so it's a bit difficult to get it. But yeah, if you can get that red rice, that is the best one. If not, go for brown rice. Brown rice takes a little bit more time to cook, a little bit more water also. So what you can do is you can add a little ghee to it, half spoon of ghee to it. It will help to cook it in a best possible way. It's not that as tasty, I understand, but while cooking the rice, you can add a few one or two cardamom or jeera, etc. It will give you nice smell. You can add a small strand or this cassia, etc. So it will give you a feel of basmati rice. I hope you can soak it pre-soaking also helps. If you are not at all able to consume brown rice, you try it first. You bring a little bit of quantity and try that first, because many people won't like it much. Then go for less polishings rice. Okay, the rice which has less percentage of polishings, or which is old one, which has been stored for some time. When the old rice cooks, it will have, its grains will not smudge. It will be like a little bit floury, separate grains. Okay, so yeah.
So another question, I think by Sanjeev. He's asked so many questions, Sanjeev. How can a diabetic person control diet, as during hyperglycemia you tend to eat a lot of sugar at odd times?
Yes, very true. First thing is you have to try to bring the diabetes under control. If your sugar levels are proper, then usually you don't get those hunger pangs. Okay, that is a classic sign of diabetes, right? You keep on getting repeated hunger pangs. So if at all you are getting hunger pangs, try to drink water, boiled and cold water, or water charged with certain spices is very good. You can add a little bit of you can boil the water, rolling boil the water, take it down from the this, and then add a little bit of jeera and this that is cumin, and dried ginger, a small this. Don't powder it too much, just break it a little bit, bigger chunks only. You can put it there and keep it, let it cool down, and try to drink that water throughout the day. That is good for everybody actually, but whenever you feel hunger, try to drink that, for especially for diabetes, try to drink that. You can add honey to it. That is awesome. That will help to make up for the sugar loss what you are feeling, and in the same time it will help to reduce your weight also. But don't add it when it is warm. Whatever the water you have boiled and cooled, in that you can add as much honey as you want and drink it. So it is always the best. And try to get the old honey if it is possible. I know it's not feasible for everybody, but if it is possible, yeah.
No,
That actually helps.
in today's day and age, whether it is brown rice, red rice, black rice, honey, old honey, it's available across the world, I think.
Yeah, that's what you can get anything online, and that too on the
A
doorstep.
very interesting question. I mean, because we've spoken about it, is about the Vat, Pitta, and the Kapha. So, what are the foods according? I mean, the people are asking that what exactly is it, and what are if you're a Vat
Yeah.
or if you're a Pitta dosh, then what is the foods that you should eat? But that's a very long.
I know. That's
Yeah.
why I have kept it for the next session. That's what I was telling Pradeep also, that we'll discuss few aspects of food. So in that, one is eating according to your body type. Okay, these prakriti, what we say, especially. See, Vata, Pitta, Kapha are active energies which kind of control whole of our anatomy and physiology. Okay, so everything revolves around us, especially when it comes to Ayurveda. Even our body is towards certain, this we call it as dosha, because it vitiates very fast. That is the reason why we term it as dosha. Dosha usually says that something is wrong with it, right? No, it's not that it is wrong, but it is so fragile. Its balance can change at any with any simple, very like a walk you take, it will help to increase vata, it will help to reduce kapha, like that. Okay, if you drink water like this, so it kind of changes everything. It decides everything, what you do, how you, even your mental state as well, your digestion state, every system is governed by it. And hence, even during birth, these three components kind of decide how your body stature will be. And based on that, if you can listen to your body and obey it with the food, activities, everything, that actually helps you to live longer, healthier. Okay, a good, healthier life, whatever lifespan you have, and you can enjoy your life for the fullest. So we'll in the coming classes, we'll definitely understand what are these vata, pitta, kapha, and what are the best possible diet which you can consume to make sure that these stay in a balanced state. Yeah,
Sure. So
we'll definitely get to it.
yeah. So two very interesting questions. One is back to curd. I think Dishal is a little unhappy that you said no for curds. She, how, so, how do you get probiotics if you do not have curd?
Yeah.
And I think she says that they actually eat homemade curd for lunch.
Yeah.
So,
Buttermilk is the best one. Okay, the same curd, you churn it and make it into a buttermilk and drink it. That would be the best this. But that is temporary. Once you lose your weight, and then you can start eating curd, whatever your aim is, till then you reach, start eating curd. Definitely do not see, this basic rule is, I never take out any one particular category of food totally from the diet. Okay, I either convert it, or I give a gap for some time and then restart. Now, when you start your curd back, you make sure that you are adding a little bit of long pepper powder in it, then it will not be that nourishing in a way. What you say, kind of, it will help to, it will kind of support your whatever probiotic requirement is there for the body, but in the same time, it will not over-nourish you, and make sure that your motions are clear as well. Your digestion is good. Curd is very, very good for us, but currently when you are reducing weight, there is a bit of a concern for it.
Another question, Dr. Nikhila, is, just before the yoga class, what can they eat? I mean, fruits or, any snack. I typically don't like to eat anything because I think it interferes in the practice if there is food in your stomach. But, what can they eat?
I also won't suggest.
Let me also add one more point to the same topic of what to eat before. And during the weight loss challenge is quite an intense physical practice going on. So obviously the meals will change a little bit. And so what to eat before and after also? I mean, when to eat that meal? What kind of meal would be good, at least during this challenge period?
Yeah, see, I would suggest 2 drinks. One is milk, just a glass of half glass of milk before your practice, but then give at least 10 minutes of gap before it. And in between, if you get thirsty, you do sip your water, right? So try to add honey to it and sip that honey water. It will help you to reduce weight as well as keep you hydrated. And honey is the best energizing this ingredient, like it will supercharge you immediately. So you can definitely go for it. And then there is another this, if it starts to get very hot, then like if you are perspirating a lot and you start to get more, say when you start when you reach to the second week, etc., then the digestion changes again. Okay, every week you will find differences in your body, your digestion, etc. If you are feeling acidity is increasing or something, then you can add a little bit of this ela, that is cardamom, to the water. It will help you to reduce that excessive enzymes what are getting secreted. In the same time, it will help you to keep fresh also. You can add a little bit of candy sugar, that is okay. Try to switch to either brown sugar or candy sugar for your day-to-day needs. That would be great. Okay, instead of white sugar. I never support white sugar. So a little bit of candy sugar also helps. But yeah, you can make different combinations with this. In between sipping these waters will help. And during the timings of the diet during your challenge, that you only will have to decide actually. I would suggest if you can go for 2 meals a day, that would be wonderful. Make it brunch and early dinner or supper. Okay, so around if of course I know if you are used to having 3 meals or 4 meals a day, it becomes difficult for you to change immediately, but then slowly you can reduce the food quantity in other times, and then slowly shift it, maybe half an hour or something, and then bring it to brunch time in the morning, and then the same for this. So afternoon, if you are feeling very hungry, then go for a small bowl of salad, or even boiled vegetable soup is also very good. Thick, don't go for too thick soup. Thin soups are best, but sometimes it will not be enough. So go for a small quantity of thick soup. That is also good. Any gourd vegetables are best for this. It will help you to maintain the health as well as reduce weight. And then, of course, there is salt. How much salt you are using is very, very important, and what kind of salt you are using. If possible, switch to pink salt, Himalayan pink salt. That is the best one. It has all the minerals in it, whatever are required. Especially when you are losing weight, you will after second week or something, you'll start to have cravings. Okay, the cravings indicate that the body is requiring certain minerals, certain vitamins, etc. Okay, so you have to make sure that you are including enough of such food items, especially vegetables, fruits, and certain these minerals, these spices. Okay, they will ensure that you are getting enough of these protective foods, especially. Pink salt is one such great food item. It will not increase, it will help you to manage your cardiovascular system. It is very, very good for your heart condition, because see, when you start to reduce weight, the excess fat will have to be cleansed from the body, right? So there will be load on different systems. So make sure that the food what you are consuming is also helping to detoxify that. Okay, so pink salt is a very big yes. So, and lots of water, lots and lots of water. Don't try to restrict the water, but don't over drink also. If you are not thirsty, don't force yourself to drink, but you can replace the water with different smoothies and drinks also. Okay, so that also helps.
Yeah, Kalpana, you raised your hand. Do you want to ask a question? Please go ahead. Kalpana Rajawat.
You're on mute, I suppose.
Yeah, you're on mute. We can't hear you. So, till she comes, I mean, there's a question about, what kind of meats can people eat?
Yeah.
And doctors recommend an egg a day. What is the Ayurveda perspective on, on that as a protein source for non-vegetarians?
Pardon, what doctors
Recommend an egg a day, Sanjeev
egg a
again.
day. Okay. Yeah. When usually for yoga practice, we don't recommend non-veg at the time when you are practicing, but yeah, that is not very conducive this day. I understand, but fish is a very good meat if you want to reduce weight. You can definitely make fish a part of your one of the meals at least. That helps. Egg, definitely you can have, no worries. Egg is rich in protein. It is one of the best protein diets. You can definitely eat a moderate amount of egg. That is okay. But I would recommend not to consume other meats as much as possible. Mutton is okay to some extent. A small quantity of mutton is fine. Try not to have any other sorts of meat. So try to
chicken, Dr. Nikhila.
chicken usually we don't recommend. Mutton is better than chicken quality wise when we see, to help you reduce weight as well as to nourish your muscles, etc. So mutton is better comparatively. Okay, goat, this.
That's
So
a
yeah.
new at least. I
Yeah.
thought chicken breast is the best.
Yeah.
No, it's
Also,
not.
Dr. Nikhila, differentiating goat meat versus sheep meat is, I think that's what you're trying to point out to, right? Not
Yeah.
like sheep
Yeah.
meat.
Yeah.
Goat meat you can access.
Goat is the best one actually.
Okay.
Goat is considered to be because see, if the thing is, whatever activities we are doing, that will be incorporated in our body, right? So the food is also the same thing. The goat always jumps and is active, it is running around, so the same qualities will come in the meat. So the meat is very light, it digests very fast, and it will nourish your muscles, but it will not increase the weight. So that is the reason why we usually go for goat.
Yes, this is like news to me. But I mean, Serene is asking, isn't mutton red meat and chicken is white meat? And everywhere we're hearing that, the avoid red meats and have
Yes.
white meat.
Yeah. But goat definitely you can include in your diet. That will help, yeah, to reduce weight as well as maintain health. See, you do need some amount of muscle as well. Okay, so from a vegetarian perspective, good amount of protein-rich food items, grains or milk, all these things will help you to increase the protein. And from non-vegetarian protein, this you can include fish. You can include a little bit of goat meat, that would help. And egg is also fine, but it's better to keep it in a very moderate level as much as possible.
So I think we'll take one last question, Pradeep.
Sure. I think we are about
No, I mean, yeah, just one last question, and it's relevant to this. As you are controlling your diet, your hair, your skin, all that, so it tends to lackluster a little
Yeah.
bit, you know. So because you're reducing the quantity of maybe some oil, etc. So what foods can actually promote you to just keep your skin and your hair in, you know, in proper order?
Yeah, hair, nails, etc. Are like they base in our bones. They are kind of a part of our bones. Okay, extension in a way. So whatever food items help to establish good bones, that will help you to increase hair, etc. Hair fall will be there. Be ready for it. When you are losing weight, definitely hair fall will happen a little bit, but that is temporary. It will start to grow back. But the best thing would be to have a little bit of oil application for your scalp. Okay, so simple coconut oil is also fine. That will help you help it to anchor in a best possible way for your hair roots and also keep the luster. But fruits, fresh fruits, vegetables, all the protective food items, okay, which are rich in vitamins and minerals, will definitely help you to maintain the hair. Even your teeth also sometimes might lose the luster, etc. So make sure that you are drinking enough milk, buttermilk, ghee, and then yes, fish also helps. On whatever have fatty acids, good fatty acids for this, that usually helps for maintenance of the hair, etc. Yeah. Even the tiredness, etc., will be there. The cravings, you can definitely go for these food items.
I think we've reached the 60-minute mark. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Nikhila. Thank you, Pradeep. Any
Thank
last?
you.
Yeah. I mean, people who've asked other questions, definitely we'll get back to you. Maybe we didn't have time to answer. And
Yeah.
you're most welcome to share your questions on the group as well. We have the WhatsApp group going, and email. Don't hesitate. And during the week, if you have any questions that pops up regarding food or anything else regarding weight loss, please do send us a message. We will get back to you. And this recording will also be there for you to review. If you want to revisit some of the questions and understand some fundamentals, you will be able to access this. And so wishing you a nice restful weekend, and hopefully you'll come back for week 2, Monday, and continue. The goal is to finish the 4 weeks. Don't get into the nitty-gritty of what's happening on a daily basis. We're doing fairly good. I'm sure most of you are enjoying the practice. But look at the long-term goal. The longer goal is for us to finish this 4 weeks, and that will prepare us for the rest of the year. That's going to be important. We're not here to just lose weight or feel healthy only for a certain period of time, but we want to feel that for as long as we can. So having said that, thank you, Dr. Nikhila.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. And Dr. Nikhila will be available for your questions, and also we'll have other webinars we will have around food, diet. So we'll share information soon, and you will be able to attend. So keep your questions ready in your notebook. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you.
Have a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, Dr. Nikhila, if you could just make Pradeep host again so that the recording.
Yeah, I have
Yes,
made.
I am.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nikhila.